Welcome to this presentation of the American Kubb Association's Open Championship Series. This presentation is made possible by the support of our official broadcast partner, Troy Creative, based in San Francisco, California. If you'd like to learn more about Kubb and join our community, visit us at kubbamerica.org. That's K-U-B-B, America.org.
One, two, three.
Both these players are really good 8-meter players. So John Ellingsen typically plays with flux capacitors, and Andrew kind of hops around from different teams, but both are really, really good at 8 meters.
I think they've kind of found some. This is what, their third or fourth tournament together?
Yep.
They win ice games earlier this year.
I think they did plays pretty well.
They placed. Oh, you know what? They won grass skirts. But
All right, so a 2-4 start, and Spence has been drilling for the Kubb Reapers today for the majority of the day, it seemed like. You can see how windy it is with the bag flying right through the pitch there. So yeah, drilling into the wind, I had a little bit of a struggle this way, keeping it down below the wind sometimes, but Gus can kind of catch it and kind of throw it off. You kind of saw that there.
definitely wanted a tighter pile than that, but with two in play, I think they'll be okay here. And who's been doing the pasta today? Cody generally blasts for the Reapers all the time, or starts with it. He'll step up with his two batons. I would imagine he's going to try to get two here, but Lars, is in your experience, you've got to make sure you at least get one, right?
Yeah, especially in these windy situations, just making sure to pick up one and save your batons. So I had a good run at that one. Probably started a little bit left to try to kick that baton over. Then a little bit of a short throw there. So Scott has kind of been their mid player, so he'll kind of clean up some of the piles and then also go for 8 meters from time to time as well.
And here, sometimes people try to get a double. If you were to, this banana back one, the back one would count. But I think, like you said, with this wind and these stakes, you just want to clear it.
It's been really hard to kind of drive Kubbs backwards today. Is that wind going to push that over? Maybe not.
If that would have fallen in a reasonable amount of time, it would have counted. But once he started to throw again, obviously we had to knock that down. Spencer hardly touches an 8 meter, and it falls and misses his other one to the right.
So Reapers pick up one there, so we'll have 4 Kubbs in play. And Andrew's been doing the in-casting today for Hell Yeah, so he's left-handed, so he'll be going to the left side of the pitch. Typically, the right-handers kind of stick on the right side for that cut and kind of keeping those Kubbs close together. So he'll be throwing them just halfway over, try to get that pile as close as possible.
Yeah, it's very unusual to see both teams drilling to the same spot with him being left-handed. That side not quite as beat down as the near side, which we'll see teams drill to in the second game. This is a best of 3 in the championship here.
I think they've kind of been switching off on drilling for most of the day.
Discussing the angle here. So you want to try to get as many as you can with a baton. Definitely looks like there's a shot at 3, and he got it. Huge clear. So now they have 5 batons. They get 3 baselines and a king. Here comes John, great 8-meter player. Ooh, just long.
Yeah.
Oh, same miss.
And these are tough because his batons are really close. It just went right over the top, so it's hard to make those really minor adjustments.
And then he did, but came up short. And again, the wind's definitely a factor, especially when you're starting to get to the longer throws.
Solid hit there.
Great turn by Andrew. See if you can grab another one.
Oh, just left of it.
Guys.
All right, so Reapers have a little bit of work to do. They still have 4 on the opposite baseline. So Spence will hope to get a good group together, get those down within a couple batons, and then give them some chances at the 8-meter line.
So, Lars, what is some way you take into account these conditions and with this wind? Like you said, you try to keep them below the wind?
Yeah, drilling, I typically drill a little bit higher, so yeah, the wind definitely affects those cubes quite a bit more. So Spence typically drills kind of low, so he's doing pretty good today from the piles that I've seen him put together. But this is where it gets a little tricky on these rethrows, so you have to get that second one in. And with the wind, you really got to be careful to make sure you don't cut it too much or if the wind kind of pulls it in. But yeah, he did a really, really nice rethrow there on that second one.
And the rotation, now when he's in casting, the more spin, will that be the more cut? Will it be the more sticking, or does it?
It kind of varies, yeah. So a little bit, if you spin them a little bit tighter, they tend to cut a little bit more. And like today, it's, yeah, you kind of got to find a balance of just keeping it under the wind for the most part. But this is a really good group. It looks like Cody's got a pretty decent line here. So he's going to be hoping to hit that front cube and push that one back and maybe get a triple, potentially a quad.
Cody with the throw. A little short, but still got 2. 2's 2. They all got to go down.
Yeah.
Cody Glorioso lining up again. Hit the deadwood, but still managed to get one. Deadwood being a piece that's already down.
Yeah. So Scott Taylor will try with the cleanup here, hoping to use the one baton and give him 3 chances at some 8 meters.
Nice clear. Spencer with an 8 meter just misses to the right.
Too much.
And a little too strong on that one. Scott Taylor here to try to add 1. Tough throw. Bounced a little short, a little left. Now, what do you think of that, where Scott threw the 1.4 meter and then switched off to let Spencer have 2 in a row?
Yeah, I typically like, if I'm kind of in that middle ground, I like to, if you're throwing a short one, you hit that one, take a little bit of a break, reset, kind of think of that 8 meter throw, since they are 2 little bit different sometimes techniques on some of those.
Andrew Schmidt, the southpaw. 4 in play.
He's been putting some really good piles today. That's another really good one there.
And the goal here is you sometimes want to get forced. So the Kubb Reapers here, as a defenders, get to decide how to stand it up. But if it would only stand up inbounds, you have to go that way. And the more they get forced, where you don't have to make a decision, the better it is for the offensive team. Because obviously the piles will be tighter.
Yeah, it didn't look like Kubb Reapers had any options on that one. It looks like they just had to set all those up as they were.
Oh, great blast by Andrew Schmidt. Luck ran out a little bit there because all day he's been getting that extra one. But no problem. The second baton comes back and clears the pile, and it leaves John with 3 to get 2 8s. And then they would need the king. 4 batons. Ooh, John always nicks it. Doesn't quite go down.
Oh, just short.
I always do like John does that shoulder wiggle there. No?
Mm-hmm. Anything you can do to kind of get comfortable and get in that mindset to make that throw.
Kind of locks himself in and to a good angle. Oh, Andy a little short. Wind's kind of died down. It's kind of been like that all day.
We're for a round or a couple throws that'll just completely be dead. And
speaking of dead wood, Sean hits the baton lane in front of the 8-meter and is able to grab an 8-meter. So now we have 5 in play.
Yep. Spencer Ollmann will be drilling 5 here. Of course, the wind starting to pick up as he's starting to incast.
Right. Again, trying to get them all as close together and, if possible, forced to where the defensive team doesn't have to make a decision, leading to piles really, really tight. Might have one short here.
We are using lines today, so when they flip those cubes up, if anything is touching the string line, that is considered out, and that has to be a rethrow. So it looks like those must have been really close to that line.
You'll see all different tournaments. Some people will play with just stakes, and you see the stakes here, the 6. Some will play with painted lines, and generally if it's touching the paint, it's out. And then here today we've got stakes for the corners, but as Lars said, we have strings laid down. And if the coop's touching that at all, it's considered out, which is really nice because
makes it easy.
50% is a great rule, but sometimes you get some arguments and a little bit of judgment. Here, black and white, touching the string or not.
So Spence you could see him move in a little bit on that incast just to make sure that he didn't have any penalties on that one. So he has kind of a little bit of a split pile. Looks like maybe 3 on the right side, 2 on the left. So Cody will have to decide on which part he's going to attack first.
I think, Cody, Glorioso. The blast wraps 3, I was going to say, I think great goals are clearless in 2.
Good try, bud. That was what you said. Let's go, Scotty T.
Here's Scott Taylor, try to clear it again. Very similar to the last turn. Give Spencer 2 at 8 meters and himself 1. Scott with the throw, this a little bit wide right.
Next on the second one there. Spetz will have another couple shots at some 8 meters here, so it looks like he's switching, trying a different one.
I believe in one of the Phil Dickinson's books, it said, why would you miss the same 8 meter twice, or the same coop twice?
Yeah.
So that philosophy of switching off. I'm too stubborn myself. We'll just keep throwing, but...
And a lot of people like to, depending on what side you're in casting on, you'll start your 8 meters on that side, so you can try to get some potential doubles later in the game there when we get more cubes in play.
Yeah, as you can see with Andrew, they've got the one left on the left, the side they're drilling. So if they were to hit a field cube and then if the baton or the cube go back and get that, like you said, it would count. And good strategy to set yourself up. Doesn't happen often.
No, it's nothing you can really count on, but you never know how the baton's flying that day, or if you get one cube struck really solidly, they can kind of send it all the way back there.
So the Reapers have been playing together. Is this year 2?
I believe start of year 3.
Start of year 3. Scott Taylor and Spencer Ollmann from the Eau Claire area. Cody from the Milwaukee area. All season players.
You'll see a lot of this usually the blaster for the team will kind of step back on the opposing team's line just to kind of help with setup, because you want to make it as difficult as possible, have the other team use as many batons. So that's what Cody's kind of doing here. He's kind of pointing like where would he not want the coops to be as an opposing blaster.
A loose pile from what we've seen from Andrew all day.
But still not that bad.
A pretty good pile. And especially being left-handed. Yep. He could probably come across the face of that front one on the furthest from us.
And it really seems like they've been haven't had a set blaster. It kind of depends on what pile is getting set up for the day between John and Andrew, which one will kind of blast and which one will kind of clean up.
Here Andrew goes for the 8.
Nice.
Wow. Great 4. I think it was 4. 3.
3, I think.
3, sorry.
Does have that one little blocker in front of that Kubb, so it looks like John might take a little bit of an angle to try to avoid that the deadwood front there.
One of the perks of having one righty, one lefty,
Yes,
is you can take a few different angles. Now in Europe, that counts, right?
Okay. Doesn't worry.
So yeah, the challenge here is you've got some down pieces in front of the Kubb and behind it. So
Yep.
it might be difficult to get the double.
and this one you're just trying for some solid contact on that first one.
Gets
Nice.
them both, and he gets Mark Burke in from California. That's the type of plays that get you here into the finals.
Yep.
Being very efficient with their batons. And with a good 8 meter, just short.
There he gets it.
Picks that one up.
Just the king left. Testing the sure shot. So 2 batons for the king to take game 1 for John Ellingsen. There it is.
Flush. So game 1 goes to Hell Yeah. Again, we're playing best of 3.
Now you go play.
The win. As we've got some time here, feel free to check out KubbAmerica.org. As we mentioned, this is the second of 4 events in the Open Series. The next being U.S. Nationals in Eau Claire in July, and then the 4th and final of the year being the East Coast in October in Raleigh, North Carolina. All that information is at KubbAmerica.org. Visit that, sign up.
Membership is free.
Membership is free. You get some emails, and really trying to grow the game and bring people that are from no experience to very experienced and all together and growing the game. It's a great game. The community is outstanding. We've got people here from New Mexico, Ohio, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Illinois, California. Many of these people traveled throughout the country and have played in several states already this year. There's been a tournament in California, Wisconsin, and North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina. It's a great sport. It's a great way to spend a day. Great people. And please visit KubbAmerica.org, sign up, and learn as much as you can, and come out and play.
All right, so Hell Yeah, we'll start game 2 here. Andrew straight on the first 8 meter throw with a miss. So now they'll have to be fighting the wind. It's a little bit more of a challenge this side.
Ooh, that was a great throw, but I think the wind was effective.
Yep.
Started to gust almost as I got to the king. I think just knocked it down.
Yeah. So if you're the Kubb Reapers, you're really feeling it here. You're down 1 game. This is a really good opportunity for them to kind of take advantage of this game.
Cody's short even with the wind, but actually the wind kind of stopped.
Yep.
As it's been doing all day. It's been too consistent for you to wait it out.
Yeah.
But then out of nowhere, it'll just go away or then pick up. Mm-hmm. Oftentimes as the baton's in the middle of the air.
Right. So it looks like they were doing the make it take it. So if one of them hits a 8 meter, then they'll throw another one. But we'll see if Spence can pick up a couple here.
Last stats, you got about 8 fish.
Some good prize money in this tournament. Spencer's getting married later this year, so probably nice to try to win this one. And he grabs an 8.
And of course, right as the in-casting happens, the wind picks up.
Here comes the wind.
Right on schedule.
Now with this single, some people like to go to the opposite side to what we were talking about earlier. The off chance you get a double, you're clearing the side you're getting to last.
Yeah.
But I think with these conditions and the weather and almost just even like a trial to see how the wind's going to affect you.
Yeah, usually I like to, if you got 1 or 2 Kubbs, at least throw on the side you're typically going to be in casting on just to get a feel for it if you haven't, warmed up or played on this pitch yet today.
Yeah, this being their first turn from this side.
Yeah.
In a while, at least. I think they were on this pitch a couple times earlier today. And a really good, solid 4 meter to clear. And then they switch over to John to give himself probably 3 8/8. Andrew will recalibrate and go after some himself.
Ooh.
Don't have to hit it hard to get it to go down, folks. As long as it goes down. This is the right, but he gets a Reaper water bottle, so that should count for something.
Yeah.
And again, the wind is kind of playing games again, gusting and breaking and gusting. Andrew with 2. Another good throw, just a little bit short to the right. Here Andrew goes again. Hits it.
Good throw. You can really see Andrew's rotation where the baton is coming in pretty flat and kind of hitting the ground right before that Kubb and sliding right into it. So he's been really consistent on getting that correct rotation all day.
Now the question is, if they won, the Kubb Reapers won game one, does Spencer turn his hat around? That's what he's been doing after losses.
Might not be superstitious, but he is a little stitious.
It's like two of those are coming back.
So the Kubb Reapers, you're still in a good position. You have your 6 batons. You're only drilling 3. So if you can get this down in 1 or 2, you can have a good chance at making some 8-meter hay.
A really good cut, a really good seconds.
Not like it.
So this one, you kind of got a little bit of a fence there. So you have 2 Kubbs that are essentially right kind of parallel with each other. So it can be hard to try to get a double on this one, but could get some baton action to the left potentially.
Cody Glorioso gets the single, and now I think he'll go for that double. When he gets it, really good clear by Cody, leaving the Reavers 4 to clear 4. Oh, they just short.
Yep. They're just not sliding. They're kind of landing them and they're hopping a little bit.
Yeah, it's very nice grass, but it's thick.
Mm-hmm.
And it's eating up a lot of the batons.
Yep.
Good 8 right there.
It's really tough to make those kind of micro adjustments when you're not missing by much. That one just sailed.
There you go. Good correction by Spence. Nice rotation. Hit it totally horizontal.
Yeah.
No doubt about that one. So here's, hell yeah, we'll have 4 to incast. I guess you could call it a tie ball game.
Yep.
You can see it.
3 Kubbs left on each baseline.
So this side definitely a little bit more beat up, it looks like, than the other side.
Yep.
Meaning that the grass has been, incasted on, and it's starting maybe to get a little easier to land some Kubbs in.
Yeah, when it gets a little bit kind of beat up or a lot more indents, it makes it a little bit easier to kind of cut the Kubbs either way, or kind of throw kind of a dead Kubb, where when the grass is longer, it takes a little bit more precision to kind of do that.
And you can see he tries to get that front end to land first, and then depending on how he might turn his wrist, he can get it to cut right to left or left to right is what we mean by cut. If you threw them all to where they would stick, you can kind of only work forward to backwards. So eventually you'll get enough in play that you need to try to get it to bounce right to left or left to right so you can have tighter piles.
Looks like Andrew will start the blast on this one. Looks like he'll start on the left side with that double potentially.
Got the triple.
Nice.
And Andrew Schmidt all day. Good clear. They've got 4 to grab 3 baselines and a king.
So the one is in play here.
John lining up. This is classic shoulder wiggle. And
Connects on
net.
1.
Here we go, John, with another 8-meter. Oh, the wind really picked up there again.
Just at the
Good
end.
throw, right? You saw the Kubb wiggle
Yep.
before the baton got there from the wind. It has been quite gusty. John with another 8. Oh, right
Just to the right.
Go, Andy.
What's that follow? Oh, good throw by Andrew Schmidt. But what's going through your heads once you realize you're getting another turn? Good throws by.
It's kind of a little bit of a relief but then you know you really got to capitalize, especially in this situation where they just took the lead. So they've only got, Hell Yeah's only got 2 baseline Kubbs left. Reapers still have 3, so you really want to put together a good pile and be efficient with your batons.
Being down again here is, a good sigh of relief, and then let's go get it.
Yep.
Let's try to take it, like you said, take command of the game. Spence with a little bit of what we call a goofy cut is when it goes left to right, because for most players, if they are going to cut it, we'll cut it right to left. Looks like 1 out. Frawley will chase the pile to the right, I'm thinking. more of an aggressive cut than I had thought.
Yep. It gets that one, nestles it behind there, so at least when they're kind of hitting that front pile, it'll have a chance to knock that back one down as well.
And for your new players, first, please visit AmericanKubb.org and sign up, but then KubbAmerica.org, sorry. And then I lost my train of thought. I apologize.
A lot of good resources on there, a lot of different tournaments and clubs that you can kind of look up and learn some more about the game of Kubb. Cody Glorioso will start here, probably on the right side again.
The double I saw.
So yeah, it gets the unconventional double that you wouldn't think, but as long as Kubbs are going down, so he's got an option to kind of hit that right one back to try to get another double there.
Oh.
Ooh. It's a little high.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think Scott will start on that right one again. See if they can get that double.
Yeah, I think if he gets the first one, pretty should follow through and grab that back one.
That's Kubb sometimes.
Could be like that. Yeah, they have plenty of times to clear it.
Nope. I don't care which one.
Asking his partner if he has preference. Maybe let's try to run one back.
A little bit of a pressure clear here. You've got your 2 batons left. You don't want to leave them a porch with only 2 Kubbs on the baseline. Oh, just nicks that right one. So he's going to have to go for that long angle in order to try to close this out with that 1 baton.
It's a tough shot to begin with them with this wind.
Yep.
Even tougher. And by porch, if they were to leave one of these standing, hell yeah, with the stand closer on their next turn. What a great go.
That was a great run at it. You really just got to clip that first coup with your baton and have the baton pass through. But
I think the baton wasn't there from that other throw. He gets it.
Yeah.
But the baton took just enough steam.
And it kind of held that last coup up, it looked like. It kind of was leaning towards the left side, but then it stayed up because of that baton.
Yeah, it rocked. So now, a big turn of events. Hell yeah, we'll get the stand from there to clear their field Kubbs and then throw out the 8 meter. Really a mistake you want to avoid in a game because it can swing it very quickly.
Yep.
One way or the other.
The advantage lines that can be a quick game ender, especially at this the high level Kubb that's being played today.
All right. Now I've seen crazy things happen.
Yep.
As I said, no one's get hit by a baton.
Yeah. So gets the 1. So he's still looking for that double here.
And
there it is.
Sometimes you got to just evaluate the risk and the reward. A lesson I learned earlier today. Try to get the 3, but plenty of batons to still make some hay.
So there's, still have their 3 batons. They got to be perfect here. So it looks like Andrew's going to be throwing 2 at those final baseline.
So shorter for sure, but also you don't throw at. They feel different when they're on the baseline versus when they're just normal 4 meter. And the wind factor, and obviously a lot on the line.
Yeah. It picks up 1. But John was hoping for the king, but he'll have to take out that last baseline attempt here.
That's a big relief for the Reapers, like we were just talking about. Now they know they get another turn. They're a great team. They could win it on the next turn of our goals. Good throw, good clear. Yeah.
Right where we are, though.
All right, so now we've got
7 in play.
7 in play, baseline clear, but
and since they didn't hit that Kubb down, so that one will stay.
I want to rescue.
And I've seen Spencer put some great piles together.
Yep.
Cody clear 7 many times.
Yeah, but
So they'll need to get this pile with 2 batons if you're doing the math here. They have 3 baselines and still would need the king, so it leaves you 2 batons to get this pile.
Reapers qualified 14th earlier today, playing the 1 seed.
They've made a great tournament run.
Great tournament, 7 qualifying rounds today, 30 teams.
Yep.
Battling these weather and conditions. We're down to these final 2. In a lot of tournaments, the top 16 or 8, depending on the amount of teams, will make a gold bracket, but then everybody gets to play playoff, whether it be a silver or bronze. So you're not just playing your qualifying rounds. You're going to get a full day in. Mm-hmm. It really is a great way to spend a day with some great people, playing a great sport.
coming out.
So it looks
was that a penalty?
Yeah, it looks like that the second rethrow from Spencer Ollmann was a penalty. So, hell yeah, we'll actually get to pick where they put that Kubb on the baseline. Or they could put it on the baseline, could have put it behind the king. So we'll kind of see what the strategy is with this one.
The king, kind of like the 8-balling pool. If it goes down early, you lose.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
So, Andrew's daughter helping out, picking up some things closer to the ground than most of us. Very family-friendly game, all ages. We had some kids out here today, I think as young as 14 playing. Yeah. And some people well into their upper 60s out there.
Yeah. Cody starts out with that double, so it looks like he'll kind of throw across the pile here to try to get this quad.
Oh. Good throw, good attempt. And still, anything can happen. Just clear it.
Yep.
Grab the penalty, maybe pick up a baseline and just get more in play.
Yep.
Especially in weather like this.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
That one a little short.
Yeah. When you kind of move across the pitch like that, so kind of throwing from the middle, it does make that 4-meter throw a little bit longer. So you got to factor that in as well, as he left a couple of those short there.
Easy double.
Yeah, as when I'm on the defensive side, the more I'll see somebody walk down that line. There you go. So it's still the penalties, so they're a small line, but much shorter than.
Yeah.
Or probably more importantly, one less key to them.
Yes, yeah, especially for them when their baseline is clear. So here you're really just kind of focusing on get no penalties. That's kind of the main thing when you're in casting in a situation like this. It's like you just don't. A penalty is going to add in pretty much an 8 on your baseline. So kind of be a little bit conservative here. But yeah, they should have plenty of batons to kind of finish this one off.
Be curious to see if they take the line. It's kind of at a weird distance. You don't have to take the advantage line, but you're more comfortable throwing from somewhere else. Yeah, definitely one of his looser piles thus far, but again, they got 6 to clear and then grab a king. And as I say that, he tightens up a little bit.
They should be in a good spot here.
He just wanted you to have your time on the camera.
So it looks like a couple force-ins there.
And again, as an in-caster, that's your goal is to try to get force-ins that lead to tighter piles, which is going to lead more doubles, triples. You know, there could be as many as 10 in play and a king, and you only ever have 6 batons. So I would think as a lefty, Andrew Schmidt would start here and try to grab a 3 and maybe some of the stuff behind it.
Mm-hmm. It looks like he will take that little advantage line. So since that Kubb is still up, they're able to move up to, imagine an invisible line kind of across the pitch, so can't cross that line, but he's going to use that about a meter-ish around there.
Yeah, probably just about. And here, I think you just got to make sure you get 1.
Yeah.
Grabs 2, that's fine. More than enough batons to get the job done.
Yep. And they've been really good at kind of switching off depending on, what happens on the first throw. So they're really good with the strategy here.
And even more so, I think, with a righty and a lefty, right?
Yes, that definitely helps.
2 strong 8-meter players with the conditions today and the different handedness. Grabs just a single there, but still 3 batons.
Yep, chipping away. So they just need. He's in 2 here.
Grabs it.
Gets him. 2 batons for the king.
Here goes Andrew Schmidt from the Appleton, Wisconsin area. Game at tournament with him. King toss.
There it is. Major number 2 goes to hell yeah. But a good fight by the Kubb Reapers today, coming in at the 14th seed in the tournament. That's a really deep run to make, especially with how many talented teams that were here today.
Yeah, that's a couple upsets on your way here, and there's some great talent here, all part of the AKA Open Series. Whether you've just started or are very seasoned, please come out and join us. We've got the tournament Wisconsin State and Wisconsin Dells area at the start of May, one in Stoughton the following week, and then again, Nationals is the 3rd in the Kubb Open Series. And then the East Coast will wrap it up in Raleigh, North Carolina, back in October. please visit KubbAmerica.org. Sign up, as Lars said, it's free. Get some good information, some good tools. It's a great community. Anybody's happy to help some people learn how to play. We had some new folks out here today. That was their very first tournament, and I think they started to pick it up pretty well and told me they can't wait to get home and start playing.
Yeah. I hope to see you out on the pitch.